When it comes to buying the right products, there's a lot to look out for. That's why today, we've picked and reviewed the 5 best models for you. And we've ranked them by many different factors, such as price, quality, durability, performance, and more. You can see their prices and find out more information by using the links in the description down below. Let's not waste any more time and get started with the video. We are going to start this list with the best budget option that you can get your hands on.
Number 5. ASUS VivoBook 15 F512 JAAS54. There's absolutely no doubt about it, the ASUS VivoBook 15 is among the best budget laptops we've reviewed. The trend among notebooks in recent years has been moving towards the premise of less is more, with ultra-portables getting insanely smaller, thinner and lighter. And the VivoBook 15 from ASUS takes that direction at a very reasonable price. On first glance, it looks premium and speaks business, with its subdued colours and lack of any flashy trims. On the back, there's a simple ASUS logo in the centre with a metal finish. On the front, you've got a sleek ASUS VivoBook branding on the bottom bezel. The metallic branding lends a fresh air to the subdued plastic finish. The most striking feature on the VivoBook 15 is the Ergo Lift, a design feature that was previously reserved for ASUS's premium ZenBook series of Ultrabooks. The ASUS VivoBook 15 features a 15.6-inch Full HD display. The nano edges on all 4 sides lend the screen an incredibly slick look with a screen-to-body ratio of 88%. It's powered by a 10th generation Intel Core i3-1005G1 dual-core processor, 8GB of DDR4 RAM and 128GB of SSD. Of course, it doesn't come with a dedicated graphics unit, but its CPU-integrated UHD graphics does a pretty good job. It's also worth mentioning that these are the base specs of the VivoBook 15, and it can be spec'd all the way up to an i7 processor, 512GB of SSD and 1TB SATA drive HDD for additional storage. I should also mention that it does a pretty great job when it comes to music production too. The speakers on the ASUS VivoBook 15 use the Sonic Master technology to deliver a better sound output. It takes the physical output capacity of the speakers and then tweaks and tunes the audio with the software, which results in the best sound output that this laptop can produce. The ASUS VivoBook 15 sets itself apart from the competition in terms of design, features and overall performance.
Next up, we have a model which gives you the best value for your money.
Number 4. ASUS VivoBook S Ultra Thin. The ASUS VivoBook S15 is among the best laptops we've tested. The trend with laptops in recent years has certainly been moving towards the idea that less is more, with ultra-portables getting smaller, thinner and lighter, and the VivoBook S15 from ASUS fits that bill nicely. Despite its 15.6-inch screen, the VivoBook is still highly portable, weighing just 1.8 kilograms and measuring a sleek 18mm thick. Admittedly, it does seem quite hefty when compared to lighter 12-inch and 13-inch laptops, but getting any 15-inch laptop down to less than 2 kilograms is an impressive feat, so ASUS has certainly done a good job with the design of the VivoBook S15. And despite the powerful i7 processor, the laptop ran cool and quiet throughout all our tests, even when running heavy-duty graphics benchmarks. The keyboard itself feels firm and responsive for speedy typing, and the size of the screen means that there's room for a proper numeric keypad and a comfortably large set of navigation or arrow keys as well. You can do lots of music production on this one without a problem. The ASUS VivoBook S15 doesn't have a discrete GPU, relying instead on the integrated graphics of its Intel Core i7 processor, but that quad-core chip does provide very respectable performance in most of our benchmark tests. The battery life for the ASUS VivoBook S15 is a little more modest, although that's inevitable given the powerful i7 processor and the need to drive that large 15.6-inch screen. The VivoBook S15 strikes a nice balance between its large display and its highly portable design, whilst also providing strong all-round performance and good connectivity at a competitive price. The battery life won't break any records, but it's still respectable for a laptop with such a large display and powerful i7 processor.
If you're looking for a mid-range model, then this next pick is a great option.
Number 3. ASUS ROG Zephyrus G14. ASUS has built a reputation of being a reliable and solid competitor in the PC gaming market. Not just hardware, but the company offers a very strong portfolio of gaming desktops and notebooks in India. Earlier this year, the company dropped the ROG Zephyrus G14, and I only noticed the machine due to some really positive reviews all around the global markets. Right out of the box, the machine gives off this compact feel. It isn't super slim like an Ultrabook or anything, but it is still very sleek. My excitement grew as I saw a really well-made sleeve for the notebook bundled in the box. Now this notebook is premium, and it's not just the looks. You can feel the materials are premium even though there is use of plastic on the lid. The Zephyrus G14 takes aesthetics seriously, and it clearly shows. You won't find any flashy RGB lighting or ROG branding apart from a sleek metal plate on the bottom corner of the lid. The inner deck is also clean with just regular white backlighting and dedicated keys for volume, mic control and the ASUS Armoury Crate software. ASUS is offering 2 display options, both of which come with an anti-glare matte finish, 100% sRGB, Pantone validation and adaptive sync. The unit I got was the WQHD 2560x1440 panel with 60Hz refresh rate. There's also an option for a full HD 1920x1080 panel with a 120Hz refresh rate. I should also mention that it does an amazing job when it comes to music production too. Now, the display is not of a very high quality. In fact, ASUS calls it IPS level instead of a proper IPS panel. However, colours look good and I was pretty satisfied with the viewing angles. This one is packed with the AMD Ryzen 4900HS octa-core processor that's clocked at 3 GHz with boost speeds of 4.3 GHz. Along with that, there's 16GB of DDR4 3200 RAM and 1TB of PCIe M.2 SSD. As for graphics, the machine comes with the NVIDIA GeForce GTX RTX 2060 Max-Q GPU with 6GB of VRAM. I think the implementation of the speakers are nicely done. Zephyrus G14 is clearly a solid product from ASUS, and it really is one of the best laptops in the market, without a doubt.
Before we talk about the best model overall, let's look at the runner-up for this list.
Number 2. Razer Blade 15 Advanced. There have always been exceptions to the Blade's ethos, and they involve glowing lights. On the lid, Razer's iconic green snakes still light up. It's been dimmed on the silver version of this laptop, but here it still glows unashamedly. The same is true of the RGB-laden keyboard, which is backlit per key in a spectacular fashion, and that's become synonymous with a Razer brand. Speaking of the keyboard, Razer has made a small adjustment to the layout. The keyboard previously featured full-sized arrow keys, which forced a separation between the question mark and a shift key. Gamers may have appreciated the spacious arrow keys, but it was frustrating when typing. All the bells and whistles are all here, well beyond what your standard gaming laptop offers. Razer even throws in an IR camera above the top bezel for Windows Hello facial authentication. It's typical for gaming laptops to include HDMI and plenty of USB 3.2 Gen 2. The Blade includes both, with a total of 3 USB-A and a single USB-C port. It may be a gaming laptop, but when it comes to music production, this laptop is a beast. This year's model features the latest 10th generation Intel Core i7-10875H. Its 8 cores and 16 threads are a big step up from 6-core processors featured in previous generations, which is promising if you want to use the Razer Blade for more than gaming. The Razer Blade's greatest performance strength is in gaming. It comes with either the NVIDIA RTX 2070 Super Max-Q or the 2080 Super Max-Q. These new GPUs from NVIDIA add just a few more frames per second than the non-super versions that preceded them. Fortunately, the Razer Blade was already a supremely powerful gaming laptop. Razer offers 2 15.6-inch display options, one for content creators and one for gamers. The creator-focused option is a 4K display meant for photographers and video editors who need that high pixel count. The Razer Blade doesn't demand you to use it in a certain way. It attempts to satisfy the modern gamer, the one who might also use their laptop for music production or as a content creator on the side.
Finally, the next model is the best overall. From us, it gets a perfect score in all categories.
And number 1, MacBook Pro 16. The Apple MacBook Pro 16-inch is the next entry on the list, and it's the best laptop for video editing and graphic design purposes. I can also say it's the best MacBook ever made. It has an immersive display, great new keyboard, speakers that pump up plenty of sound, and great performance specs that allow you to get through anything. At first impression, the Apple MacBook Pro 16 doesn't look that much different from the 15-inch version of the device, which is amazing, as there's more screen real estate but roughly the same size. It's slightly bigger than the 15-inch version by some millimeters. It's just 24.6mm thick at its thickest point and weighs about 4.3 pounds. The keyboard is also good, with a new Magic Keyboard that's clicky and satisfying to type on. As a writer, I didn't lose any speed at all, and it delivers great stability with the scissor mechanism. The Touch ID button works well too, as it delivers great performance and safety. It also works as a power button. Moving on to one of the most important things about this laptop, its panel. It's equipped with a 16-inch Retina panel with a 3072 by 1920 resolution that delivers a pixel density of 226 pixels per inch. You can also change the refresh rate of this monitor to match that of your content. It can reproduce 113.9% of the sRGB color space with a near-perfect Delta E score of 0.27, which makes it great for professionals. The brightness is also great at 500 nits. Moving on to the performance, the Apple MacBook Pro 16-inch has a class-leading 9th generation 6-core Intel Core i7 processor, which has the complementary Intel UHD Graphics 630 unit. There's also the ultra-fast 512GB SSD and 16GB of RAM, which delivers a great performance. It has a dedicated graphics unit as well, besides the integrated one, the AMD Radeon Pro 5300M, with GDDR6 memory making it a beast. Buying guide. Firstly, size. Before you start choosing anything else about your laptop, determine the size you need. This is more about the portability of the laptop, however you should know that super light and small systems can't have the best performance parts. There are different categories of laptop sizes you can choose from. For example, there are laptops with sizes from 11 to 12 inches that are the thinnest and the lightest, and there are 13 and 14-inch laptops that are the best in terms of balance between performance and portability. Moving on, there are 15 and 16-inch laptops, which are the most popular and are pretty heavy, in my opinion. Secondly, RAM. Music production software hits your laptop's memory hard, particularly as you add more plugins, etc. to your process. RAM stands for Random Access Memory, rather than the long-term memory, which is explained later. RAM is the short-term working memory. It's much quicker for the laptop to use the RAM to quickly access data it needs, rather than accessing it from the hard drive every time. I've been trying to think of a metaphor for this for a while, but this is the best I can do. Sorry. RAM is like a wallet full of money. Whenever you need to pay for something, you can quickly dip into your RAM wallet to grab some money. The hard drive is more like the bank. It stores stuff away that's not needed quite so quickly. And lastly, hard drive. If you have a high-spec laptop, you shouldn't have an issue storing audio data on the internal hard drive, but if you want to make sure you have absolutely no issues with performance, then an external hard drive is well worth getting. This will allow you to just use the internal hard drive for running the operating system, DAW and plugins, whilst any audio tracks and samples can be kept separate on the external drive. This external hard drive can be your audio drive. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you found it helpful, please remember to leave a like and subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this in the future. If you have any questions related to these products, you can leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.